Hi everyone, this is Dana with Dirk, that's me. It's April and we're going to talk about real-world evidence studies. I think you all know that RWE studies are becoming more and more common in FDA submissions. I think that's a great thing because they, in my opinion, better reflect the reality of a patient's life and how an intervention impacts that. But what I also see is that RWE in post-marketing in phase 4 is often kind of the orphan in the mix of studies. And a lot of money and time is spent on big, expensive RCTs. But when it comes to the later phase studies or the RWE projects, we try to save money. We do try to keep it simple. And simple is good, by the way, but not too simple. And sometimes we compromise on methodology. And I saw a study recently that showed that there were quite a few FDA submissions that included real-world evidence, but that the FDA also threw out some of those RWE studies because they were flawed from a methodological standpoint or from a sample size standpoint. And of course that's a shame because my expectation is, and I think that's basically shared with the whole community, that the ratio of RWE to RCTs is going to shift in favor of RWEs. It's going to be slow, but I think more and more the FDA will start to rely on real-world evidence. And that also means that we need to give a little bit more attention maybe to these RWEs. So why won't we use the same technology we use for our RCTs as we use for RWE studies? You could reuse some of the data model, you can reuse some of the methodological aspects of the study. You can still use ePros to follow patients. So I would argue that when you're designing a study pipeline and really thinking ahead, you can really incorporate how you're going to capture real-world evidence and bring the same methodological rigor to your RWE design and sort of set the same expectations from a technology standpoint. And so we actually see quite a few customers here at Gaster that are using Gaster for their RCTs, but then also continue to use Gaster for their RWE studies and following patients, and actually being able to reuse quite a bit of those components and again bring that methodological rigor to those trials to make sure that these data can actually impact their submission in a positive way. And then of course there's the matter of tokenization. Tokenizing patients at the start of a trial gives you the opportunity to further enrich your data set with claims data, with prescription data, which only further enhances the impact that a data set like that can have. And I think we all embrace those approaches and try to get the RWE studies out of that sort of afterthought domain and bring it front and center as part of designing a study pipeline. I think we can really accelerate this trend of the FDA also embracing these approaches. That's all I have for you today. I wish you a great month of April and I'll see you next month.